In this demo, we'll explore the actual methods and tools used to carry out a successful enterprise targeted attack. These attacks are successful because the zero-day malware used is invisible to standard endpoint and network security, and the human attacker activities are typically either undetected or buried deep in the unseen logs of IPS, SIM, or other security systems. But Trend Micro Deep Discovery can detect and identify these attacks, and in part 2 of this demo, we'll show you how. In our demo scenario, an attacker has decided to target the Integrated Data Analytics Corporation, hoping to steal customer records and other valuable data. From his internet intelligence gathering, the attacker finds an easy target for his initial infiltration: Integrated Data Analytics employee John. The attacker creates a spear phishing email disguised as a LinkedIn invitation from someone that John knows in real life. John trusts the legitimacy of the email and falls prey to the attack. Clicking on the link brings him to a fake cloned copy of the LinkedIn site that has been modified to include a malicious Java applet. John allows the applet to run, which in turn downloads and installs the remote admin tool that the attacker will use to view and control John's computer. All of the malware and malicious actions so far are designed to evade the company's endpoint and network defenses. The attacker receives the connection from the remote admin tool, and now he can begin the next phase of his attack. All of the commands the attacker sends and responses that he receives are encrypted and sent over this difficult to detect communication channel. John's computer offers little direct valuable information, so the attacker attempts to obtain the domain administrator privileges that will make it simple for him to use VNC or remote desktop to access other hosts on the network. The attacker uses his tools to dump the cached password hashes on John's computer, crack them, and finally reveal the domain administrator password. He then sets up a VNC session with John's computer using these credentials. The attacker now scans John's emails and finds an email to a coworker named Steve. Someone with the level of Steve's access is quite interesting to the attacker. He finds Steve's computer and sets up a remote desktop session to explore it further. Once on Steve's computer, the attacker finds the code for one of Steve's projects and discovers credentials for a database in one of his configuration files. The attacker goes to work putting his recently discovered credentials to good use. Neither John, Steve, or the company's security solutions are aware of these activities. The registration database appears to offer valuable private account information, so the attacker uses a database tool to dump the database to a file. With data ready to be exfiltrated, the attacker downloads a tool that simply divides the target file into smaller chunks, zips them, and transfers them to an FTP server under his control. All of this activity is unseen by typical security controls. Deep Discovery uses sandbox simulation to analyze downloads and network payloads, identifying malicious behavior and communication invisible to typical defenses. In this case, user infection by the hacker tool, as well as the attacker's remote communication destinations, are exposed. Now, let's see how Deep Discovery can help to identify the difficult-to-detect communications with an external command and control server. Deep Discovery detects malicious communications by malware or human attackers in several ways, including address reputation, the characteristics of the communication itself, or the use of illicit SSL certificates. The affected endpoint and external destination are clearly identified. Deep Discovery can also detect malicious internal network activity in many ways using its extensive detection rule sets. In this case, the use of a remote desktop control utility with administrative access is flagged as suspicious. And finally, various Deep Discovery detection rules are used to identify suspicious database activity and flag suspicious external data transfers. Deep Discovery analysis screens feature a link to Threat Connect, giving you the intelligence and recommendations of the Trend Micro Smart Protection Network and Trend Labs researchers to help you understand and rapidly respond to an attack. In summary, only Deep Discovery's unique detection, actionable intelligence, and reliable results can deliver the visibility, insight, and control you need to combat targeted attacks.